And we are live, people. It's been a while, right? We haven't done a live in a very long time. Apologies. I always say that, but you guys know I'm just so busy. I'm so busy doing so much, trying to create so much. So sometimes we miss out on these things. But I love doing a live. I love it. I love getting you guys involved. I love trying to answer as many of your questions as possible for the next hour or so. This live can go on and on and on. I have scheduled it for an hour, but we can go an hour, 30 minutes. We can go 2 hours. So it might be time to grab a drink, get a coffee, whatever you want to do, because this could be a fun one. All right, get your questions in. I will try, as I say, and answer as many as possible. For those of you that have now become a member of the channel, thank you very, very much. I've got some good content coming your way. And obviously, we are going to do the Chris Eubank, Conor Benn giveaway. So you guys will be with me during fight week, not on fight night. We can't promise that, but during fight week. So that should be fun as well. All right, let's get straight into the questions. You guys know how the show works, right? Again, as many questions as possible in the next hour or so. And yeah, it should be fun. All right. Ian Hamilton became a YouTube member. Yes, Ian, appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. I saw that today. So again, thank you. I know Ian's been watching the channel for years. So thank you very much. We are live on Twitter as well. So this is coming through on Twitter. Do you guys still call it? I still call it Twitter. I don't know why people call it X. I think people are sleeping on Hrgovic slightly. He was doing a number on Dubois before the headbutts. He wasn't doing a number. I think he was beating Dubois. I will give you that. But I think Dubois was getting to him. I think Dubois' pace and just energy and punch power was starting to get to Hrgovic. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Hrgovic has left. He has vanished off the face of the earth. He's now back to fight Joe Joyce. I still think he's a problem. I'm with you. I think people are sleeping on Hrgovic. I think Hrgovic has all the tools to still be a very good top 10 heavyweight and maybe more. So let's see what he can do against Joe Joyce. Let's not rule out Joe Joyce either. Who knows, right? But I think Hrgovic, if there is something left, I think Hrgovic beats Joe Joyce, and then it's a big fight. Big fight for him next. Deep Random Thinker says, how dare the WBO and IBF strip our undisputed pound-for-pound king? He can fight whoever the hell he wants. We all want to see Usyk not quadruple knee out with a jab at Wembley Stadium. No, I actually disagree. I do think that these governing bodies do need to enforce their rules. I mean, Usyk's been undisputed. He's already got to the mountaintop. Anything else now is just bonus time. So I do want to see other people get an opportunity. If you are a Caballero, if you are a Joseph Parker, you've done your work. Give me the shot. If you're Caballero, you're like, well, 1 second, dude. You know, last time out I beat Zhili Zhang, before that, Frank Sanchez, before that, Arslan Bekmambetov. If you're Joseph Parker, Martin Bucoli on short notice, Zhili Zhang, Wilder, these guys deserve opportunity. So as much as I would like to see Usyk versus Dubois for an undisputed, I think a lot of people would. I think the other guys waiting in the wings deserve their opportunities. Jack Tappin, morning peeps. You know, I might get some morning peeps t-shirts done, you know. I think I might get them done and just give them away as well. Because I always say, you know, sometimes I record videos in the evenings and I'm so used to saying morning peeps to say morning peeps. Another one from Jack says, how do they decide on judges for fights? Who pays them? And can you change them like jury service? They're such a determined force in boxing and nothing is really explained about them. The commissions pick them. So if it was a fight in Vegas, Nevada State Athletic Commission pick the judges. If it's a fight over here, the British Boxing Board of Control picks them. I don't know. Sorry, in terms of who pays them, the commissions pay them. I don't know how much they get paid. That would be interesting to know. I have no idea. But yeah, they are such a determined factor. Such a determined factor. And I do think they need to be looked at from time to time. But I said, I think some judges, I mean, some of the scores on some fights are so bad that you think this can only be corruption. Like some are so bad. And those judges need to be thrown out. Or at least be suspended for a while. Like any other sport, when a referee gets it wrong, the referee gets demoted. In football, if a referee has a bad game in the Premier League, they miss a couple of games, or they even get demoted to the championship. That needs to happen with judges. But there's some judges, yeah, But I grew up watching boxing. I'm old in the late 80s and early 90s. There's some judges in America where you still hear the same judges' names called out. You're like, that cannot be the same judge. So they need to be rotated off, man. They certainly do. What's this? Fraser De Angelis. Have I got that correct? Hopefully I have. Evening to Ade. Loving the Ade and G-Man show. Are you and G-Man going to be doing any shows live at the Zone events? Oh, interesting. That would be amazing to watch. Long-time viewer, keep up the good work. Never thought of that. Never thought of that. That would be fun. I think that'd be fun to do. I do think the Zone are going to take Ade and G-Man. I think it's going to go on their platform soon, which would be nice. It's something that I film here in my house. So it'd be nice for it to go from that onto a proper platform. It still will be on the YouTube as well, obviously. But yeah, that could be something that works. Me and Ariel have done stuff at shows in America. So Ade and G-Man could work over here, I guess. Selassie says, what do you want to see more? Bivol versus Benavidez or Bivol versus Beterbiev 3? Question. That's a good question. That's such a good question. I've battled with this question in my head for weeks, honestly. As soon as the WBC, I think, mentioned that they might try and enforce Bivol versus his mandatory, which is Benavidez, I was like, not mad at that at all. But it is one apiece between Bivol and Beterbiev. It's one apiece. They've shared 24 rounds. And let's be honest, guys, all 24 rounds have been close. Like, it's so close between those two. If it's one apiece, there has to be a trilogy. And because of Beterbiev's age, there has to be a trilogy now. If Beterbiev was 35, I'd say, okay, Bivol, you go and do your thing, and you can maybe run it back with Beterbiev in a year's time, 2 years' time. But because he is, 40 or approaching 40, and I think we saw in that fight, the last couple of rounds, I was like, I could finally see his age creeping up a little bit. He looked a bit tired. I'm like, if it doesn't happen now, it's never going to happen. So I think you've got to do Bivol Beterbiev 3. Which one would I prefer to see? Probably Bivol Benavidez, if I'm honest with you. But I think you've got to make number 3. I think it's unfair on Beterbiev if you don't run it back. I think you've got to run it back one more time, even if it's not for undisputed. I don't care about it now. I've seen it twice, undisputed. I think both fighters wouldn't mind if a few belts are scattered, but I think we have to see Bivol Beterbiev 3. It's such a good fight. Such a good fight. Stuart Foster, prime Sonny Liston versus prime Mike Tyson. Who you got, Ade? Boy. You know, I'm going to be very honest about this question, and I don't think people are. When people think of sort of old school fighters, apart from maybe Muhammad Ali and a few others that we've actually watched tape on, not many people have watched tape on Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston, prior to Muhammad Ali, was a wrecking machine. A wrecking machine. That being said, there was a period where Mike Tyson was just formidable, like frightening. So I'm gonna edge to Mike ever so slightly. But Sonny Liston, people need to go back and watch some old Sonny Liston fights. I think what it is with Sonny Liston, people remember Sonny because of those fights with Muhammad Ali and think, yeah, Sonny wasn't that. Sonny was a killer, a naughty guy outside the ring as well. Do your research on him, and you'll realize how good and frightening Sonny was. A frightening fighter. Super Chat's come here. Could you give a 5 versus 5 prediction for fights 10-0? I don't even know what that means. I appreciate the Super Chat. If you're asking me to give 5 fights that I would like to see, just don't send a Super Chat. Just write it in the comment section. I'll do it. But I didn't know that's what you meant. This one, Ian Hamilton says, evening Ade, my bro, just signed up for this membership thing, and let me tell you, you're the only one I'd consider doing it for. So produce that top content for my money. Yes, sir. It's coming your way. No, honestly, it's coming your way. We've got so many good things planned. People always tell me I'm so impatient when it comes to like wanting things done. I'm so impatient about getting this content out. Like, I wrote it down and I've played it out in my head for fucking months. And I'm like, can this just happen? But it is going to happen. It's going to happen. Hopefully we're filming the content this week, and it goes out next week. Fingers crossed. But again, thank you to everyone that signed up to be a member. All right, where are we? Good question. Where do you think Inoue can go in the all-time rankings when his career is over? It's a good question, but it's also a difficult one because we don't know. Honestly, we don't know. Like, obviously, it looks like Inoue's on course to fight Nick Ball, right? Potentially. Obviously, he's got Cardenas coming up, but if he goes through Cardenas, Nick Ball, that's another title in another weight class. And you know what? Call me mad, yeah? I'm telling you now, if he runs through Nick Ball, bear in mind, we've seen the opposition that Nick Ball's been up against, some good fighters, and no one's running through Nick Ball, right? Nick Ball's a terror. If he sleeps Nick Ball at feather, I'm telling you now, people are going to say, fuck super feather, let's go straight to lightweight, and you know who's at lightweight. You know the fight they've been talking about at lightweight. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Because if he was to knock out, so not, go life and death with Nick Ball. If he goes life and death with Nick Ball, I think we know that, okay, he's reached his weight ceiling. If he runs through him like a hot knife through butter, people are going to start talking crazy about Inoue. I think the Inoue conversation about all time needs to happen at the beginning of next year because I have a feeling he fights Nick Ball in the winter, so December 2025. And if he beats Nick Ball, wow. The next 2 months are solid in terms of shows. We have cards every week for the next 2 months. Yeah, and I'm working on quite a lot of them. I think the first one I work on is this Saturday, a Queensbury show in Manchester. My first time working on the Queensbury show. Obviously, Queensbury no longer with TNT. It's now with DAZN. I'm still not sure if the lineup's changed, apart from myself presenting. So I don't know if it's Carl Frampton. I guess it is. But in terms of who's coming over from DAZN, I don't know who. But I'm assuming it's Carl. I'm assuming Buncey's still there. Maybe Darren Barker comes over. I'm not quite sure. But I guess we'll find out on Saturday, right? G-Man versus Ade Prime for Prime. Who wins? I mean, come on. I don't want to embarrass the kid. I like G-Man. We're good friends, but come on. Can you not see the shape I'm in? For my age, he ain't lasting a round. He ain't lasting a round. Big up from New York City, Ade. I love New York. I love New York. I was there, 3-4 weeks ago? Is that what it was? About that, isn't it? 3-4 weeks ago. Incredible place. Honestly, incredible place. Too busy for me. New York is like London on steroids. It's just, it's nice to go there for a week and get back home. But I do love it. I can't wait for the event at Times Square either. I think that's going to be incredible. I believe I'm working on that as well. Like so many events coming up, but that one, I mean, I'm so used to all the events in arenas and stadiums. This one, Times Square, it's going to be sensational. I hope it's an hour and 30 minutes at least. Love these streams. Thank you. We'll go on as long as we can, but hopefully it's a long one as well. Again, we haven't done this for ages. I am going to start doing lives every week, so 2 lives a week. I'm saying all this because I want to stick to it. 2 lives a week. Obviously, me and G-Man do our stuff, but I'm looking to do my own lives. The green chair is coming back for the lives as well, and that'll be on the members section, but I'll let you guys know a bit more in the future. Oh, okay. Alex Quinn says, do you think Conor Benn will become world champion? No, not if he stays at the weight that he's fighting Chris Eubank at. No. 160? No. Even 154. If you looked at, I'm very realistic with these things. Like, even at 154, and by the way, I say no, you never know, right? I mean, you never know. But look at 154. If Conor, I don't think Conor can make 147 again. I've been around him. He's very fixed now. So 154, you're talking about Sebastian Findora. Yeah? All 6'5" of him. And then you're looking at the guys that do not have belts. Virgil Ortiz, DUBOIS-USYK, Madrimov, Xander Zayas. Good luck. Good luck. It's a frightening division. But if he could make 147, Barrios is good, but Barrios has been through some wars. Brian Norman looked really good the other day, so I don't think he's beaten Norman. I don't think he's beaten Boots Ennis. He's not beaten Stanionis. Barrios. You never know. How many points will Liverpool win the league by? I'll take 1. I'll take 1 point right now. Just win this fucking league, man. Please. Most intimidating boxer you've ever met? I'll tell you, you know what? Intimidating. I don't really get intimidated by them. Oh no, Beterbiev. I'm lying. I'll take it all back. What a lie. Beterbiev. When I did the face-off for Bivol Beterbiev, Beterbiev came in first. I think Bivol was doing some press. So Beterbiev came in first. He knows I'm Team Bivol. He knows this thing. And he had watched a few interviews of mine after the first fight where I said, oh, Bivol could maybe have won that fight. He came in, he said, what you been saying about me? I was like, huh? I ain't saying anything about you. He said, what are you saying about me? I heard what you said about Bivol. I was like, oh, I ain't gonna lie. Heart skipped a beat. Heart skipped a beat. And then he started smiling. I was like, oh, god damn. So yeah. Beterbiev is the most intimidating fighter I've ever met. You know who else was intimidating? For some reason, he came in, he wasn't happy. Tyson Fury. When I did the Tyson Fury interviews, this is for the Usyk second fight. Fury walked in, and I could tell, because Fury normally comes in and he's quite happy, go lucky, he's smiling, he's giving everyone high fives. He came in, his whole team came in, and they were mean mugging. And he was giving me one-word answers for like 25 minutes. I was like, you trying to intimidate me, ain't you? You trying to intimidate me? He was hard. He was hard work. Dylan Goodrich, Eden, I hope you're well. I live in Ipswich and was wondering if you've heard any rumors of the undercard. I haven't. Not yet. Not yet. I will let you know, Dylan. Dylan, you signed up to be a member as well. I'm pretty sure I saw your name down. But I will let you know when I do know. Trust me, I will. I promise. Big up, Ade. What's your opinion on padded records in boxing? They're a necessary evil. I hate them. I'll be honest. This is why it's so hard to judge how good a fighter is, because if you are any good, I mean, really and truly, we don't know anything until you're like 50-0, and that's when they finally put you in there with someone. You look at the records, a lot of these fighters early, unless you are an exceptional amateur and then they rush you. But most fighters coming up, it's like they're fighting no one really until they're like 15, 16-0. And I'm always asked questions about how good that fighter is. And I'm like, it's impossible to know because they're fighting nobody. But it is a necessary evil. Boxers learn a lot from fighting these journeymen and fighting people from different countries with different styles. But yeah, not happy with it. Hi, Ade. Belated birthday wishes. I worry for Deontay going back in the ring, and I'm a massive fan of these. Yeah, same. I just don't get it. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish. Deontay was a long-standing, long-reigning WBC heavyweight champion. Your name is in the record books forever. Say what you want to say about his level of opponents. Deontay's name will be remembered because of what he did in terms of that long run, unbeaten for ages, right? Those fights with Fury were fantastic. Honestly, one of the greatest heavyweight trilogies ever. Stunning. It's not there anymore. It's not. And look, I hope to eat humble pie. I hope that I'm wrong, and people can say Ade, or people can clip this and say, look, Ade said this bullshit about Wilder, but I don't think I will be. I saw him against Zhang. I was right ringside against Parker. Doesn't want to pull the trigger, and that's what that's his thing, right? He threw that right hand with mean intentions, and he threw it with a regular occurrence. He doesn't want to throw it anymore. So him fighting this guy in June, who is relatively unknown and hasn't fought anywhere near Wilder's level, and Wilder ices him. What does it mean? What does he get from it? I don't know, man. So for me, nah. One second. I think people are saying that the mic might be off a little bit. Let me just double check. Let me check for you people. You work. One second. No, wait. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So that's what you call doing it by yourself. Home kit, home setup. Let's see. Let's see. Audio. I don't know what is going on with the audio. People, this might just be it, you know. This might just be how it has to be. Right, let's try it. Let's switch it up. Oh, that's a bloody annoying thing. I don't know. I don't know. All right, it is what it is, peeps. It is what it is. All right, let's go next one. Who does Bivol fight next? Beterbiev trilogy or Benavidez? Beterbiev trilogy all day long, all day long. Right? It's just gonna happen. There is more money in fighting Beterbiev than fighting Benavidez. Unfortunately, for Benavidez fans, I know people won't want to agree with that, but it's true. There's just so much more money, so he's gonna go down that route. But you know, it is like although Bivol's done a lot of work recently, obviously the Canelo stuff as well, he is known to an American audience, but the pay-per-view numbers just, they won't be that big in America. Whereas we know that Turkey will pay him regardless of pay-per-view numbers for a big trilogy match in Saudi Arabia. So it is always going to go the Beterbiev route. But Alex Quinn says, what is one thing you'll change about the sport? Judges and the drug use in sport. I believe there's a lot of drug use in boxing, and I do believe that the hammer needs to go down on someone. I'm talking like lifetime bans. That's the only way you're going to stop it. I think so, anyway. All right, what's this? Fatal Fury, New York City has been confirmed closed to the public, do you mean? Only celebrities and influencers, 150 to 300 people. Is this true? Has this been confirmed? Wow. That's disappointing for fight fans, isn't it? Very disappointing. Is that, when was this, I don't even know this. When was this confirmed? That's a shame. If that is the case, that's a shame. That's a massive shame if that's true. Again, I've not heard that, then that's a big, big shame. Hope that isn't the case, though. I'm trying to just sort the mic out as well. As much as I'm talking to you guys, I'm trying to get them plugged in. But we're going to have to go with this for now, people. Sorry. Okay, someone in Podium saying he's listening on his phone and it sounds fine. Okay. Listen. My issue with Crawford, he's a pound for pound on skill, but not CV. For a 17-year career, his opponents are pathetic. Oh, besides Spence and a retired Porter. Who did he beat at 147? I get it. I understand it. I think he would have beaten everyone. The problem for Crawford is the biggest issue for Crawford is when he was champion and the champions are over there, the other side of the road, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence at the time, Pete, Sean Porter, none of them would fight on Top Rank. That was what it was. He couldn't get them to come over, and he couldn't get over. So when he was at his very best at 147 pounds, and he would have beaten all of them, I think, convincingly, he just couldn't fight them. So that's almost not his fault. But you're right. It is a pound for pound on skill, but not CV. I agree. Do you think Trent was leaving regardless? All right, football one, I love it. Or did Liverpool not do enough to keep him? I think he was leaving regardless, and I think he could leave. He could have told them last year, so they could have been paid. Yeah, I think Trent was gone. It's just so disappointing. I'm a Liverpool fan, and it's like, but it is what it is. You can't blame him. I mean, who wouldn't go to Madrid? You can't blame him. Henrik 180 says, WB is so ridiculous. Caballero has been mandatory since the Sanchez fight and is not getting the opportunity, but Dalton Smith just gets nominated as the mandatory and Puello already has to fight him. Yeah. Honestly, it's boxing. There are no rules. It's just made up. It's the wild, wild west. I think we've spoken about this and said this so many times. It's the wild, wild west. So yeah, if you're just joining the live now, I think there is an issue with the connecting on the mic. I do apologize. So you're probably hearing me from the laptop, which the sound isn't great. My apologies. I don't want to stop the live and try and get the mic sorted. So we're going to have to fucking grit our teeth and go through this. What's this? Judges should have to explain themselves, especially when their decisions make no sense. Yeah, agreed. You need to be held accountable, like to fans. But you know, the judges probably do have to explain themselves to the commissions. They probably do have to. Again, it's something we don't know. I'd actually like to speak to a judge to find out exactly what goes on. But we fans are not privy to those conversations. They need to explain it to us. When I see a scorecard that is so obviously biased and corrupt, you need to fucking tell me how you got to that scorecard. Like, I need to know. Like, we need to watch that fight together, and you need to explain to me how that person won that fight, and then I'm at peace with it. But these judges seem to be able to get away with just doing. And you know what it is? They're ruining fighters' lives. Like, look at Jack Catterall, yeah, in that first fight with Josh Taylor, which I think 99% of people say Jack should have won. Jack could have been undisputed. Undisputed. All of a sudden, he's not even been a world champion. He's not been a world champion. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're ruining people's lives. It's crazy. How do you think Dubois would fare against the 90s heavyweights, Lewis, Bowe, Holyfield, Tyson? That's unfair. That's unfair because all four of those guys would beat him. All four would beat him. Lennox, Lewis, Riddick, Bowe, Holyfield, and Tyson. My God, you like two of those are top 6 heavyweights, maybe. Right? Lennox Lewis could be the best heavyweight of all time. Holyfield certainly top 10. Riddick Bowe, I think, underachieved, and I still think he was incredible. And Mike Tyson, he probably doesn't. This isn't a Daniel Dubois dig, all right? But look at the guy. He probably doesn't make it out of round 3 against any of them. Lennox Lewis, Riddick, Big Daddy Bowe, Evander the Real Deal Holyfield, and Iron Mike Tyson. Get out of here. No chance. No chance. Coming in late, starting from the top. Keep up the good work, Addy. Thank you very much, Joey. Appreciate it, my man. Appreciate it. Reece Jones says, glad to see Sunday Night Live back at it. I am glad that we're back as well, but I'm very pissed off about this mic. I'm angry. I'm upset about it. Yeah, I don't know. But we're back. What's this? Any advice on how to start getting presenting work with no experience? Bloody hell. I would say the way I started was just by doing this. I started a YouTube channel. I didn't have any qualifications or any, like, I didn't go to school or college for presenting. But I think like most people now, I started a YouTube channel and I started doing this. I started talking and I did videos every single day. And when I then got an opportunity, I'm kind of ready and I'm not nervous when the camera's on me or have to do what I'm doing now, which is look down the barrel of the camera. So anyone starting out, I would say you've got to start a YouTube channel. It's the easiest way in, unless you want to do it the so-called proper way, which is maybe get a journalism degree or an English language degree or something like that. I did it this way, and so far, so good for me. So yeah, YouTube channel, start that. Who does Joseph Parker fight next? Good question. All right, I think this is what I think happens, and I'm going to shout out Base the Kid. Base said this on Twitter, and I was like, you can kind of see where Base is thinking. It's a bit wild. I think Joseph Parker fights Alexander-Arnold, and I think Daniel Dubois fights Derek Chisora. That's what I think happens. I think that happens. And I know that sounds crazy, but no, it maybe doesn't. It maybe doesn't. Joseph Parker is WBO mandatory. Alexander-Arnold obviously is WBO champion. So I do think the WBO are going to stick to their guns on this one. And if they do, I don't think Alexander-Usyk is going to want to throw away a belt. I think he will fight Joseph Parker. The mandatory for Daniel Dubois' title is Mr. Derek Chisora. So I think they're going to do that. I think it's almost going to be like 2 semifinals. I favor Usyk to win. I favor Dubois to win, and then we get the Usyk Dubois for all the marbles. Alvo says, would you ever want to commentate on fights? I did do this in Africa for about a year and a half. It was tough. It was tough. I know my lane. Let's put it that way. I know my lane. I ain't a commentator. Especially when I'm next to Adam Smith, or I'm next to these guys. I think Mike Costello, and I'm like, my God, these guys are very good. And I'm like, okay, let me just do what I do, which is, hello, welcome to the zone. I'm Adi Ladipo alongside Tony Benn. That's easy. I think Caballero personally on the Usyk Dubois 2 undercard. Yeah, look, if it is Usyk Dubois 2, Caballero will definitely be on the undercard. Again, 2, I don't know, but definitely on the undercard. What's this? 8 beautiful, 8 golden, 8 dragon, 8. Quite a few 8s there. Hi, Ade. The G-Man content you put out was great. Any plans to co-host some big fights with G-Man? Would be great to see you sharing your platform. Okay, I can't read that last bit. He's certainly not that last bit. Can we get your reaction to the postponement of KSI Dennis? And will you ever come back to Misfits? Very, very disappointed in my brother KSI. Just because he was at the Usher concert. Saw him at the Usher concert. If you're sick, stay in bed. What are you doing at the Usher concert on the day you're supposed to be fighting? I was actually going to be there for that one in Manchester. So a bit disappointed, but it is what it is. Larry Jablinski. So that is like a name from like sort of 1980s American movies, isn't it? Ethan Ade, do you think a Bacoli Parker rematch is at all likely? I feel like an in-shape Bacoli would have a great chance, although I understand Parker deserves a touch. I said I wouldn't mind this fight. I want to see this fight. That's the fight I actually want to see. I want to see Bacoli Parker. I want to see Bacoli in shape. I want to see a Bacoli that weighs around 275, not the Bacoli that looks 6 months pregnant. I want to see that guy because I think he gives Parker some problems. I really do. I think it's a great fight. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Fred Taylor says, I thought the liars were for members only. I'm not one, but I still see the Q&A. I would become a member, but I don't see the option. Yeah, if you want to become a member, you can't become a member on your phone. You've got to actually do it from like your YouTube, using your desktop or laptop, whatever. You know, it is with regards to sort of Q&A and lives just for members, I always will put content out on my non-members YouTube channel if you like. So I'm trying to sort of do both. I'm trying to give as much content to the members and as much content for those that aren't members, because that's the kind of guy I am. Who do you think wins rumored fight between Peter McGraw and Shabazz Massoud? Love this fight. Love this fight. You know what? Yeah, I thought Peter McGraw was lucky to get the result of his last fight in Saudi Arabia, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought he was lucky to get that. McGraw's a better boxer, clearly. I mean, you look at the amateur record, right? His amateur record would tell you this guy can box your head off. I just feel like I don't want to be harsh here, but I expected a bit more. I think that's what it is. I expected like, whoa. Like hearing him come through, like I was like, this guy's going to be crazy. And I haven't been super impressed. So I think Shabazz Massoud could cause a bit of a problem here. So I'm going to edge ever so slightly to Shabazz Massoud. That's what I think. All right. Who does Wilder fight next after the warm-up? Jared Anderson, Baby Miller. Well, he's got the options in it. Those are two very, very good options. Let's not rule out Andy Ruiz from a possibility there as well. I think he could fight AJ. I honestly think he could fight AJ. I've said for AJ it's Fury or bust. Like I don't see who else AJ fights. It doesn't look like he wants to go down the Danny Dubois rematch. Park has been mentioned. I don't think AJ would fight Parker. AJ said to me when I sat down with him, this is after Wilder losing. I said, would you still fight Wilder? He's like, yeah. So I think AJ will still fight Wilder. So I think if Wilder looks great, and he should, don't be surprised if we see AJ Wilder in the winter. Don't be surprised. What's this one? FLX Semi says, I think Farmer and Zepeda need to do a trilogy instead of Zepeda going for Shakur. Seems like a classic trilogy in the making. Agreed. Agree. The only issue is it's 2-zip. That's the only problem. So why does Zepeda need to do it again? Zepeda will say, yes, I struggled, but I beat you both times. I haven't watched the second fight, but a lot of people tell me that Farmer could have nicked it. But I just can see Zepeda. I can't see Zepeda going to Shakur, by the way. If he struggles with Farmer like that, and no disrespect to Farmer, but Farmer's not as good as Shakur Stevenson, then I feel like he's going to have a problem with Shakur. So I can see Zepeda going a different route, but the trilogy ain't happening. What I do want to see, though, is is Farmer still stick around. I did see the in-ring interview, and Farmer was talking about the fact that, I don't get the rub of the green. I might have to look at my situation, blah, blah. Stay around. You're now quite high in the shop window. Like, what about Farmer versus Gervonta? Remember that fight should have happened years ago. Remember that? When them two were chasing around each other. But I still Farmer's got a lot to offer. A lot to offer. Would love to see you work with Najee from Cigar Talk. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Najee. Every time I see him out, I give him love. I give him love on Twitter as well. I think he's doing an incredible job. I think boxing has moved so much now, where I think like fighters almost prefer to sit down with people like Najee than they do with traditional presenters. I think Najee does a great job, and the way he's built up his platform as well. This guy, he deserves a lot of props. He's doing that on his own. He's doing everything on his own. Incredible content. Incredible. Off topic, but Fury should go back to Peter. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I actually liked that combination, but that ain't happening, bro. That ain't happening at all. Appreciate the super chat, but that ain't happening. Is Fury even fighting again? Let's talk about that first. Even at a Cy H here, man, Cy H has been around for a while. It's been a little while. Life is great at my end. I'm doing brilliant in life, and I'm happy you are too. I'm an Adeladipo OG. He is. Like Cy H, when I see the names of people that have been around for ages, Ian Hamilton, I see them all. There's so many, and I'm like, jeez, you guys have fucking stuck with me through thick and thin, and I appreciate it. All right, where are we? I want a Matchroom versus Golden Boy 5 versus 5. Yeah, with Shakur versus Zepeda top of the bill. Not interested in Matchroom. Yeah, for me, you know what it is about the Matchroom 5 versus 5. For me, the reason I wanted to see it so badly was because of the heat between Frank and Eddie. Frank and Eddie talk now, and they seem to be best buddies. Oscar and Eddie have heat. And that's why it would make a great 5 versus 5. I'd love to see that one. I'm all for that as well. I agree. I much prefer that than a Matchroom versus Queensbury 5 versus 5 again. Much. Thoughts on what fight does more pay-per-view buys between Canelo Crawford, Garcia Haney 2, Fury Joshua, and Tank Shakur? All fights Turkey seems to want to make all 4 of these. I do it in order for you. Pay-per-view buys. Fury AJ would beat all of them, I think. Am I just saying that? British bias, but Fury AJ is the only one that I can tell you guarantee would get over 1 million pay-per-view buys. In the UK, so this is all from my American and worldwide viewers here. In the UK, Fury AJ on pay-per-view does 1.5 million buys easy. All right, next, I'd probably say Garcia Haney too, because those two boys would chat so much shit that people just like that kind of stuff. So I think I'd edge to Garcia Haney too, then Canelo Crawford, then Tank Shakur. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Garcia Haney in America, his pay-per-view in America, it seems to be so highly priced that people just pirate it, don't they? But if it was a reasonable price, like over here, AJ Fury would be like £25. If it was like $30 in America, Garcia Haney, I think, is doing 1 million pay-per-view buys as well. I think so. Good question. I like that question. WM Boxing View Super Chat. Appreciate it, my man. Appreciate it. What do you put down to AJ's awful performance against Dubois? Was it complacency or simply underprepared for such a relentless onslaught? maybe a bit of the last bit, you know. Like even I was shocked at how much Dubois was on the front foot. Like Dubois bullied AJ from the very first second of that fight. Or maybe we got a bit too overexcited about those wins against Otto Volin, who I think we also looked trash against Derek Chisora, and knocking out Francis Ngannou. Maybe it was a bit of that as well. Maybe in hindsight, was AJ ready for a Dubois having fought those two guys? Should there have been someone in between? Maybe. But let's not take anything away from Danny Dubois. We always do this, don't we? When a favorite loses, we always try and find fault in why the favorite lost. Dubois just looked fucking frightening. Dubois is the second best heavyweight in the world right now. That's how good Dubois is right now. Lawrence King, appreciate the super chat, says, I think Wilder declined after disgracefully sacking Mark Breland. Good shout. You can see it fight by fight that the fundamentals are not there. Plus, last two Fury fights took it out of him. I don't think the fundamentals were there at any time, if I'm honest with you. Well, he had basic fundamentals, but I don't think he had that. It was all about the right hand for Wilder. I think it's the Fury fights. I think physically they just took so much out of him. I think they took a lot out of Fury as well, but I think they took a lot out of Wilder. So yeah. What's this one? Absolute Boxing says, did you ever collect boxing cards, signings, etc.? No. You know what I do collect now though? All these lanyards. Can you see that? Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see that. Every time I go to the boxing events, I collect all these all the time. I could take it down, but it would fall. That one was GGG Canelo, and the other one is Spence Crawford. I've got all of them, like all the big ones. Garcia, Tank, all the big fights I've done. AJ Usyk, Fury Usyk, and I might give those away on the members channel because a lot of people seem to like those things. So yeah, we're probably going to give those away. All right, let's get back to the questions. What's this one? Who's the most underrated, underappreciated boxer in the world right now, in your opinion? Personally, I think Kenshiro Taraji doesn't get enough love. A lot of people say that about Kenshiro. A lot of people. Who is the most underrated? That's a bloody good question. You know, someone that, okay, this is going to sound a bit, he gets love, but I think he's so much better than people think he is. I think he could be pound for pound #1 in 2 years. Jesse Bam Rodriguez. I watch Jesse Bam Rodriguez and I feel like I'm watching a genius at work. Like, I feel like I'm just watching someone that has just clocked the game. You know, like when you see one of those old martial art movies and the guy's got it in slow motion. I'm watching Jesse Bam Rodriguez do things in the ring and I'm like, and because he's so unassuming outside the ring, that if Jesse Bam Rodriguez had the personality of Ryan Garcia, he would be the biggest star in the sport. He'd be the biggest star in the sport. Telling you. I am telling you. Just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. All right, where are we? So many questions are coming in. All right, here we go. SA Junior says, big up, Addy. Thank you very, very much. Could Aspinall or Ngannou from the UFC be a chimpanzee in a one-on-one fight? No, they could not. No, they could not. Harambe says, Inoue would beat Ball and Davis. Steady. Why are we doing this? Right, let him get through Cardenas first, and then let's see. Do I think he beats Nick Ball? Yes. Do I think he beats Gervonta Davis? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If Josh Taylor wins on May 24th, what path are you guessing he goes at 147? Does he target Boots or get another title for the leverage in negotiations? Now, if he wins, I think Boots is a big shout. I think Boots will fight Virgil Ortiz if Boots beats Stanionis. So you look at the other two champions, Barrios and Brian Norman. Could he potentially go down that route? One thing he won't do, though, is stay at British level. He's not going to do that. And that's not disrespecting Echo Usman, but that's kind of where Echo is, right? British European. If Josh wins and looks good, Josh is going straight. Josh has got a name. Josh is former undisputed champion at 140. Josh is going for the big dogs immediately. But I don't think it'll be Boots. Dexter, to me, the fairest way for the current heavyweight title situation to resolve itself is Dubois versus Parker, Usyk versus Kabiel, then winner versus winner. Felt bad for Parker. You know what? Yeah, that's it. You nailed it. That's it. That's the fairest way. That is the fair. What I said was Usyk vacating his WBO belt and Parker versus Kabiel for the WBO title. But I think what you've done here, sir, is correct. Dubois versus Parker, Usyk versus Kabiel. The question is, if that was on the same card, who headlines? What fight headlines? Not easy, is it? What fight headlines? I don't know. Oh, Absolute Boxing has become a YouTube member. You know what I need? I need like some sort of clapper, some, I don't know, some noise, something I can press. But appreciate you becoming a member, brother. It means a lot. Thank you very much. Content coming your way. I feel like I'm under pressure now to make sure there's content for those of you that become members. Pressure, pressure, pressure. But pressure makes diamonds. So no stress. All right, where are we? Where are we? Marcus Smith, NBA playoffs coming up. Who you got taking it? You know what? You know, OKC and the Cavs. By the way, I love every sport, guys. Every sport. OKC and the Cavs are just frightening. But in terms of a complete team, I just feel like Boston just look complete. Honestly, I think they look complete. They got the big three. They got so much depth off the bench. In fact, they haven't got a big three. They got a big five. They got a big five. And every other team seems to have a big 2 or 3. But don't rule out the Lakers, you know. Now that Luka's there, don't rule out the Lakers. My team that always pulls on my heartstrings is Golden State. I'm thinking if Golden State can just get it together, you never know. But now, you never know. What's this? Ade, I reached out to you over WhatsApp. You never got back to me. Really? How'd you get my number? All right, do it. Message me right now. Right now, if you got it. If you got it, do it right now. All right. Ishmael Kamara Azoka. It's a great name. Dubois and Parker should reschedule the fight soon, and Kabiel should get a go at Usyk. I believe that Kabiel will against Usyk, and if he does, it will be in brutal fashion. What do you think? Oh, we'll win against Usyk. No, I can never pick anyone against Usyk. I'm sorry. I can't. But I like what you've done. I think that makes sense. Someone else said that as well. I think Kabiel versus Usyk. What a great fight that would be, by the way. You know what it is as well? It's a fight that we didn't expect, but what a great fight considering the work Kabiel's done. Kabiel chops you down, doesn't he? Chops you down. So I like that. But I'm not picking anybody. I'm not picking any human walking planet Earth against Alexander Usyk. It's too good. Shushu beats Inoue. Been saying that since 2022. Stylistically, Inoue is tailor-made for him, and the size and power difference is big. Shushu Carrington, yesterday, go and watch his fight. You know what? You know, that's a good shout, you know, Chris. That's a good shout. It's one of those shouts that you bank and you put it in your folder that you said it in 2022. I don't know if Shushu will get the opportunity. That's a great shout. Shushu actually called out Nick Ball recently as well. That's a really good shout, brother. I like him. Cy H with a super chat says, is Chris Eubank Jr. the most successful? This is a great question. You basically, I feel like in answering it, I might get in trouble, but I'm going to answer it anyway. That's what we do. Is Chris Eubank Jr. the most successful, unsuccessful boxer in history? Tell me another boxer who's made tens of millions without ever winning a title. IBO don't count. Good shot. It's a good question. It's a fair statement. It's a fair statement. I'm not saying it. Cy H is. I'm just kind of nodding and agreeing with what Cy H is saying. It's a good statement, Cy. You said it, not me, brother. Jay Silver Super Chat says, you think Wilder's fight will be aired on TV or Malik Scott's OnlyFans? Malik Scott's got an OnlyFans channel? Can't, surely not. Surely not that he's now with the wonderful Kate Scott, who I hope to be working with very, very soon. Someone's going to pick it up. Sky Sports will pick it up. I don't know what platform it actually is on, because he's no longer with PBC, is he? That's done. So I have no idea. Has he signed a one-fight deal with Top Rank? I have no information about Wilder's fights, but we are going to need to find out a bit more about it. All right, where were we? I see something. Well, I see something from Base. Base says, "Shout out, Ade, you owe me an interview and a live stream." Jeez, I owe you. I owe you this stuff. But I do owe you an interview, though, 100%. You know, his Base is always at these events, and I always see him. Every time me and Base about to do an interview, someone else just gets in his way. But me and Base going to do something. I might get Base to come actually around here, do some stuff in the studio with Base. That'd be good. Michael Walsh says, "Did you meet any of the tennis players in Saudi Arabia?" Yes, I did it. What do you mean, did I meet them? I hosted the tennis tournament. I met all of them. Carlos Alcaraz, Djokovic, Nadal. I met all of them. They met me. Every single one of them. Sinner. Literally met all the best tennis players in the world. For those of you that don't know, this might surprise you. My favorite ever athlete, ever, is Roger Federer. Roger Federer is my favorite athlete of all time. What's this? What's this nonsense? What's this? G-Man has KO power, so you don't think I carry power? You don't think I carry power? G-Man wouldn't last a round. Wouldn't last a round. Inoue walks ball into a right hand and puts him in the shadow realm. You know when someone says the shadow realm, it sounds so violent. Yeah, I mean, Nick Ball does come straight at you, doesn't he? And that's the thing. And you can almost see a check hook from Inoue. But does Inoue carry that power? But surely the power's got to stop at some weight class. Like surely he can't just keep fucking having this power and this speed through the weight classes. Or can he? Can he be a Manny Pacquiao 2.0? Can he? Addy, you're going to go to the Inoue show while you're in the US? Yes, 100%. I mean, if I'm there for it, 100%. I mean, I'd ask someone for a ticket. If not, I'll pay for it because I don't think I've ever seen Inoue fight live. No, I don't think I have. Errol Spence says there's killers at 154 pounds. Bro, there are snipers at 154 pounds. Snipers. That is, I think that's the most scariest division in boxing right now. 140 is good, but the 140 boys are all fighting at 147 now. Ryan, Devon, all going 147. So I'll say 140, so 154, frightening. Xander Zayas versus Conor Benn is a fair matchup. What has Xander done so far? It's not what has he done so far or who has he beat. It's how has he beaten them. That's the thing with Xander. I'm watching Xander. I'm like, I can see it. I can just see it. Do you know? And look, now I'm telling you now, Conor's not ready for that yet. He's not ready for that yet. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Your 3 favorite boxers of all time. This changes every single day. But right now, today, what is it? The 30th of March, I believe. My 3 favorite boxers right now are Miguel Cotto, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather Jr. You know, when I get bored, I sometimes just watch tapes of Floyd. I miss Floyd so much. Floyd was fantastic, man. Fantastic. Oh, here goes the $1 million question. Ade, how do you see Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn going down? I do think the weight cap might be a problem for Chris. Although people say things like, yeah, but Chris walks around. Chris quite big, you know. I've been around Chris. He's not slim. I mean, there is some weight to Chris, and he's got a lot older as well. What's Chris now? 35. I think Conor could chin him, but I think the most likely outcome, where if I had money, I'm putting it on this, is a points win for Chris Eubank Jr. That's what I think is going to happen. How good do you think Haney is? Feel like he needs to get away from Bill. Don't see him being world champion again. He won't be world champion. Well, he won't be. I don't think he'll be a world champion at 147. I think his ideal frame and weight is 140. I think he's good. I think Devin Haney is really good. I mean, I love his performance. I think we do sleep on a fighter after 1 defeat. And that 1 defeat comes with so many asterisks, so many question marks. Ryan Garcia was on PEDs, whether intentionally or unintentionally, there were PEDs in his system. Ryan Garcia was overweight. So, I mean, those are good excuses. Let's not forget how good Devon looked against Regis Prograis the fight before. He looked fantastic. So I think Devon's good. I don't think his dad's that much of a problem. I've been around Bill. Bill likes to talk when the cameras are on, when not. He's almost just his dad's. He almost plays the role as a promoter for his son, like the voice, because Devon doesn't really talk that much. So I don't think Bill's a problem. I don't think so. When do you think we ain't getting that? We ain't getting that. No, this is a good one. This is vanished. Look at it. Any more news on Dennis McCann? Nothing. Like, what happened there? Like, this seems to have just vanished from the face of the earth, this stuff. Okay? Yeah. Fight of the night. This one, fight of the night. Early predictions for Riley versus Clark. Too early for Riley, or is it a bad style matchup for Chev? You throw some great points in there, brother. You throw some great points in there. I don't know, you know. I think in fact, I edged the Chev. I was there for Chev's last fight in Monaco, where he lost to Mascara, who looked enormous. But Chev is good. Chev is good. This might just be a fight too early for Riley. Like, it's a shame we didn't get Vidal versus Isaac Chamberlain, because I feel like that was the perfect stepping stone to Chev. So it might be just a tad too early for Riley. But if Riley does beat Chev, then we know we've got something special on our hands. So we see. Alan, MK13 says, we see less undefeated fighters with Turkey around. Good. Good. It's not about the O. It's about good matchups. It's about good matchups, man. It really is. Like, you know, with the passing of George Foreman, I kind of went back and you look at that sort of 70s, late 60s, early 70s era of heavyweights who all lost. And we don't shame any of them because they were in great fights. Ron Lyles, Ken Norton, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Ernie Shaver, Sonny Liston, George Foreman, Cleveland Williams, all lost. What's the problem? No problem. No problem at all. I can't be the only person who thinks the top-ranked commentary is cringe. Man, I hate Kriegel. He's in the ring interviews are just bad. I wish you could say, yeah, next. Don't get me in trouble. Don't get me in trouble. Don't get me in trouble. Will you be watching Ursu versus James tonight for the Commonwealth title? Didn't even know it was on. Didn't even know it was on, but now you've given me that little nod. I shall have some food after this, glass of wine, put my feet up and watch some boxing. What are your thoughts on the Canelo skull undercard? It isn't as bad as people are saying. It isn't. I mean, Canelo undercards are always crap. Always. They're not, like, it's like he takes all the money and leaves nothing for the undercard. This one, you get Munguia versus Solas. Again, we get Bacoli versus a Jagbar. And then you got some other stuff as well. I don't think it's as bad. And this is the thing with fights as well. And I said this when I was recording with G-Man. I mean, you don't know how good a fight is until the fight's over. So everyone moaning about it's not got that name and this matchup and that matchup. You do not know how good a fight is until a fight is over. No one correctly predicts what's going to be fight of the year. No one gets it right from the start of the year, do you? You wait till the fight plays out and then you see. There you go. All right. Oh, God, I hope this isn't true. This can't be true. Billy the Kid 2.0 says, have you seen the footage of William Skull getting KO'd in sparring? And have you seen the 8 to 10-year-old leaked footage of Wilder versus Lee? No to both of them. But I'm now going to look for this footage of William Skull. Hopefully it's old. It must be old. It must be old. But in saying that, I'm telling you now, I know a lot of your favorite fighters that have been KO'd in sparring. Just saying. Just saying. I know a lot that goes on in the sport of boxing. A lot. Okay, what's this? Jay Silver says, I disagree. Riley too slick for Chev. Yes, but at the level that Riley's been fighting at. It's a bit like the Ben Whittaker thing when everyone says, oh, when Ben steps up, will he still be able to do, you know, all the things? So can Riley still be that slick at that level? Remember, Chev's an Olympian, you know. Chev can box. Now, Chev isn't just like some big bully that they just kind of found from nowhere. Chev can box. We'll see. Can Catterall be champion or was he robbed forever? Oh man. Yeah, he can be champion. I think the 140 division doesn't really have a ruler. I don't think. I think Tio might be the best in it, but Tio goes up and down as well. So and then it's weird. You got Sabril Matias, who Matron was saying is the the boogeyman. Liam Parrow goes to Puerto Rico, beats the boogeyman. Liam Parrow fights Richardson Hitchens in Puerto Rico, loses the title. It's all over the place. It's like a hot potato right now. No one seems to want to claim the throne at 140. So who knows? Who knows? All right, guys, we're going to go for another 15 minutes. So get your questions in. Get your questions in. Where are we? Okay, I like that. Not a question, but just how's it going, Ade? You know what? Thank you. It's going all right. It's going all right. Busy week coming up. Got loads of stuff to do. I'm sitting down with Frank Warren on Tuesday. We're going for dinner. True story. I'm not even bullshit. Going for dinner with Frank. Going to a nice restaurant in central London to talk about, obviously, me being now the face of Queensbury. Oh, what a crazy life, eh? I'm not even bullshit, but that's happened. Do you think Eddie will stop Australia expansion? No, he's got too many good fighters. He got Jar Pataya, dude. But I don't think Eddie's thinking, fuck, Sky didn't, you got Jar Pataya, you got George Gambosos. No, you've got so many fighters down there. Too many fighters. Arafa, Tim Tszyu. Eddie's good. Eddie's good. What's next on the agenda for you and G-Man? Domination. And no, obviously, look, it's not just me and G-Man, by the way. One thing I like to do is I want to bring in so many YouTube boxing people. So obviously, G-Man, I've done a few stuff with. I will do some stuff with Base. I will do some stuff with October Red. I will do some stuff. I'm happy to do stuff with everyone because at heart, I'm a YouTuber myself. It's just kind of working out what we can do. Adding G-Man was a good idea. G-Man doesn't live too far from me, so it makes sense. But I will do some stuff with other people as well. I'm that guy. I will like to help people that helped me. Very good question. Very good question, Mr. Virtuoso. Whatever happened to Samuel Antwi, former British Boxing Board of Control Super Welterweight champ? I haven't seen him since knocking out Mason Cartwright. Sick KO, by the way. You know the problem is when a lot of these fighters, I think a lot of people assume that a lot of the top fighters, which Samuel Antwi certainly is, have massive promotional deals and have got big broadcasting deal. A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't even have a promoter. They have a manager, and the manager then will work alongside the promoter. So sometimes you just can't get the fighter on the TV. You can't get the fighter a fight. So sometimes you have these fighters that are so good that just working. Can't get a deal. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. From Ireland, I want to get into boxing media. If I were to ever fly over, what could I shadow you for a day to learn as much as possible shooting my shot? Could you shadow me? At an event? If you're asking at an event, possibly. I can't see why that would be a problem. Send me an email. Go to the description. My email address is there, and let's talk there. It's easier. Shooting your shot. I like it. You've got to shoot your shot, You've got to shoot your shot. Oh, this is a good question. What do you think of Bruce Carrington's performance last night, and do you think he's ready for fight? He is certainly ready for fights like Nick Ball. He's certainly ready for it. It's funny because me and Ariel, Bruce actually, we know him as Shushu, right? But Bruce Carrington actually called out Nick Ball prior to that fight. So after Nick Ball won his fight against TJ Doheny, Bruce called him out, and I was like, nah, Bruce ain't ready. I'm wrong. He's ready. Wouldn't it make sense for Crawford to fight Lara at 160 in the meantime? Not high profile, but makes him a 5-weight champion and keeps him active. Yeah, 100% agreed. I don't like the fact. Look, it's risky, right? I can understand why Crawford's like, no, because the money that Crawford's going to be making for fighting Canelo, like you don't even want to risk an injury, a headbutt, anything. You don't want to risk anything. But I just feel like you've got to stay busy. I feel like you've got to stay busy, and you've got to kind of get used to that weight, the extra weight in the ring. And I think a 160 jump is a perfect fight. Forget the belt. It's not even that. It's just the idea of A, staying active, and B, getting used to having that extra weight on you in the ring. But it is what it is. In the future, maybe in 5 years, who do you think will be the face of UK boxing? Moses Atama. Moses Atama. Who else have you got here? Oh, excluding Moses Atama. Azim, Dalton Smith, Whitaker, Shiraz, or someone else. Okay. No, look. How many have we got there? 1, 2, 3. All four of those guys. All four of those guys could be the face. We even got fighters like Delicious Ori, who Queensbury have signed. Good heavyweight. He could be a problem. Out of that list, if I had to pick one, I'm going Whitaker. If I had to pick one. In fact, let me do it in order. I'd go Whitaker, Hamza. Tough between Adam and Dalton. Ty. That is me. You know what they call that, right? Fence sitting. Fence sitting. That's why I just did that. I fenced, sat. But the answer is Moses Atama. That's the answer. That's the answer. All right, a couple more super chats have come in. This one came in. Just this one's so rich, dropping money, and then no question. What's this one? Addy, if I DM you on Twitter or email, will you reply? Got something to ask you. Yeah, do it on email. Email is the easiest way. Happy birthday week. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You got any more birthday plans? What was your favorite part of your trip? Favorite part of my trip, Dubai. Saw Vincent Company. Vincent Company just walked right past me. And I can't be one of those cool people that try and act like I'm not a fan. I was like, oh my God, Vincent Company. Oh my God, Vincent Company. But no, the whole trip was good. I'm not a big Dubai fan. I now am. Food, the restaurants, the weather, people, amazing. Amazing. Have you seen much of what? Bati Graziev. I don't know who that is, but no idea who that is. No idea who that is. But I'm going to find out. I have no idea who that is. I ain't got a clue. All right. What's this? Do you think TNT Sports is now done with boxing now that Queensbury has left? If not, what current promotion could replace them? I think they're done. I think they're done with boxing. I'd be shocked if they're not. Yeah. TNT obviously have so many other sports. Obviously, their number one is football, right? And they're going big on football, very big. So I think that cost an arm and a leg. What they might do is sort of, yes, you know, someone might get a deal, a bit like Cali Sowland with Channel 5. So you're putting on events once every 3 months or so. It might be like that. But in terms of a deal where you're doing shows like Frank did, I think Frank's deal with him like 40 shows a year. Something like that, right? It was more than one every 2 weeks. No one getting that again. No. What do you think about Wilder? In what you need to elaborate on the question, brother. Like, do I think he's a nice person? Yeah. Do I think he's a good boxer? Yeah. Do I want him to box again? No. Thoughts on Zepeda versus Farmer 2. Haven't seen it. Only saw the highlights. Haven't seen it in full. I will watch it tonight. I will talk about it tomorrow. But a lot of people are telling me that Farmer could have been robbed. What I have seen is that 12th round knockdown, which was ruled a slip. Wasn't a slip. Now, it was a punch, and Farmer did kind of push on the back of the head a little bit. But it's not a slip. That's still a knockdown. Still a knockdown. So, yeah. Okay, I didn't even know about this. What do you think of Evander Holyfield's son, Elijah, signing and competing in WWE? Didn't even know about it. Didn't even know. It's nice to see that he's gone that route as opposed to trying to lace him up like he did. Or I think he did lace him up early, but it stopped. Happy for him to go down this route. Let's see him. See what we can do. Have you ever collected boxing memorabilia before working in boxing? Few bits, but nothing big. Like I always used to go and get gloves. I used to like bid off gloves on eBay. People always used to put them on eBay, and I used to bid on them. Never used to. But the ones I've got now, I'm so happy with. Like, can you guys can you see them? Them Bacoli ones are incredible. And considering how iconic the Bivol Beterbiev like fights are going to be looked back on in years later, those Bivol Beterbiev gloves up there are just insane. And that DAZN glove is signed, I believe, by Ryan Garcia and Canelo. I think I've got a Miguel Cotto signed glove here as well somewhere. And we'll be giving some gloves away on the members channel. Just saying it is going to happen. Because I realize I go to all these events, I'm seeing all these boxers, they're always signing gloves, and I'm never asking for a glove to be signed. I'm like, but they're right there, like Usyk's right there, right there, right there, right there. So I'm going to start doing it. I've got to start doing it. It makes sense. Ade, love the live. What is Jai Patai doing for his career? Fighting all for a position when he should be unifying and then moving up. Is he not a good ticket seller? I don't know. It's even down to that. I just feel like they're struggling to get the opponents to agree to fight him. Sometimes you never know what goes on behind the scenes. One thing I will say about Jai, which I do like, he's not waiting around. He's still fighting. That's one thing you've got to give him credit for. He's not like, I'm waiting for him, or I'm waiting for this fight, or you have to pay me this, or I'm not fighting again. He's like, okay, look, I just want to fight. Let me fight. So I don't mind the fact that he's fighting. Yes, I'm a bit like you, I'm not happy with the opposition, but you can't put a gun to the head of these fighters, right? He should be fighting Zerdo. That's what should be happening. I don't know what's going on. But it should be Jai Patai versus Zerdo to find out who is the #1 in the world. That's it. But I like the fact he's staying busy. So you've got to give him a little credit for staying busy. Metal Box J says, are you working on Queensbury shows? Yes, I am. I am working on Queensbury shows. So, yeah, let's see. Let's see, eh? Let's see. I don't know who with. A few people have asked about the talent lineup. I'm not quite sure if it changes too much. I'm guessing Carl Frampton will still be doing it. Bunsey will still, like, not much should change, really. It should really just be me. I think we should keep the same team because the Queensbury shows are good shows. Just make sure it's me presenting them. A couple of super chats have quickly come in. Let's read them before we wrap. Traveling from Toronto, bloody hell, for Ben Eubank, love UK boxing. Why are UK fans hating so much in this fight as if they won't all watch it? This is it. I always say things like this, like, we're all going to watch it. Like, we're all going to watch it. Like, even though that's just shit, shouldn't happen, Conor Benn should be banned for life, I'm all going to watch it. I can't wait for it. And the fact it's now at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well, there's going to be, 65,000 people in there. Crazy. Luke Ashton, Eddie, what do you think of the current state of amateur boxing in the UK at the moment? And are you following any amateurs? I don't really. This is something, yeah, that I need to do more of. And this is almost like, because it'll be good to kind of get a jump on future stars. But I tell you, like, Spencer Oliver always follows the amateurs. Andy Clark always follows the amateurs. Ronald McIntosh, always, like, these people go to far-flung countries and Azerbaijan and all that and follow all the amateurs. So they know who is Gennady Golovkin before we see Gennady Golovkin. They know about Loma and Usyk before we see them. So I don't follow amateur boxing as much. Obviously, when the world champs come around and the Olympics, I jump on. But I need to start following a bit more amateur stuff. I feel that's a slap on the wrist there. I need to follow a lot more amateur stuff. Quick thought about Tevin Farmer. Do you think he's one of those fighters who should be a test for top prospects? Yes. Emiliano Vargas, Mason, Moton. No, not yet. Not yet. I think we saw with Zepeda that he's a bit more than just a gatekeeper. That there is something like, you know how high we all were on Zepeda, and there's an argument to say he could have beaten Zepeda twice. So that means Farmer's still very, very there, like very high, one of the best 135 pounders. Not a gatekeeper yet. I think a lot of people are saying he could be a gatekeeper because of his age. That's the only thing. But from what I saw, this guy still looks as fit as fucking anyone. And I think that I think he's a bit too far in front of those guys you just mentioned. Can you get me an AJ glove, please? Of course I can. I'm not even just saying that. Of course I can. That's actually not that difficult. It's not that difficult at all. So I might do that. I might get a few of those gloves signed. It'd be interesting to know, like, I guess this is maybe for the members. I hate doing that, separating the two. But it'd be interesting to know what gloves people want. Because I guess I can get, apart from, this is maybe a bit arrogant, but apart from Gervonta Davis, I probably can get any glove signed in the world. Mic drop. Mic fucking drop. Reese Cooper. Oh my god. Where are we? Oh my god, there's too many questions have come in. Too many. I'm all over the place with the questions now. Apologies, people. We got 1 more minute. 1 more minute. We're done. Right, where are we? What's your wine of choice, Ade? Enjoying a nice Aussie Shiraz, watching the Q&A. I don't choose them. If I'm going to, whatever is in the house, I just pretend I know. You know, one of those people that now I pour it and do what people do. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just drink it. I'm more of a whiskey person, but you know, now and again a wine just to show that I am getting mature and good at my age. All right, who's this? Air Max 90 King says, busy week for me. I start a network rail engineering course tomorrow. Well done. That's what we want to hear. That's good. Good luck to you, brother. And there are going to be times when you absolutely hate it, but you just got to fucking stick with it. Got to stick with it. Do something with Hatman. I love his content. I am a big Hatman fan. Hatman, you know, Hatman is like the godfather of this for us. So a big Hatman fan. And I think it's time. I'm going to reach out to him. I think it's time me and Hatman do something. Did I see the live of October Red and Wiley? I did. The Godfather of Grime and October Red. I watched a bit of it on Twitter. Hi, Ade. What do you think of the Payne and Farmer fight? Because I seen Farmer not being happy after the fight. And I spoke about this quite a bit. All right, guys, we are kind of done, you know. This could go. You know what it is, yeah? I didn't even advertise that I was doing a live. I didn't like promote it. So I'm shocked that 900 of you are watching this right now. 900. You know what? Because of that, we're going to go for another 5 minutes. Fuck it. Let's go for another 5 minutes. What's up, at a good channel, brother? Do you think we'll see AJ versus Fury on Netflix soon? Highly possible. Highly possible. Highly possible. Hey, talking to Netflix, have you guys watched that Adolescence? I thought it was fantastic. Fantastic. Jaya is coming more vocal recently. Called out CBA, he ducked him. Zerdo don't want it. Don't know if it is that. Sometimes it's down to money. But if CBA had a chance to unify against Zerdo, right? And if you get the opportunity to fight Zerdo, and it's the same money to fight Jai, who you fucking fighting? Who are you fighting? I'm fighting Zerdo. And the hope was to beat Zerdo, and then you've got a bigger bargaining chip going to the Jai Pattaya table. Yeah, I feel sorry for Jai. But that's what Eddie's there for. Where are we? All right, we're done. People, it was good. I enjoyed it. We ain't done a live for a long time. Thank you so much all for joining the live. I need a favor. Don't go yet. Don't go. As you leave the building, I need you to do two things for me. Two. Come on, I've been speaking for an hour and a half nearly. Like, share, and leave a comment. That's simple. The like button is so easy. I don't know why people act like it's a tough thing. Just press like. It's so easy. Share is the same thing. It literally requires you to click twice. And whatever else you want to do, you can do as you leave. I will see you during the week. More videos, adding in G-Man, all that kind of good stuff. And that's it. Nothing else to say. Peace and love.